All right, once again, listener, I thank you for your time. Today we'll be talking about Dtale. Dtale is also a library function or library in Python. Okay, it's a library in Python. So it's a Python library that we are going to make use of today. This Dtale, as the name implies, I usually tell my students that I think they are telling it from the angle of it gives a detailed explanation, okay, of a data set. You can use it for data manipulation according to what's it called, Medium. According to Medium, Dtale is a combination of Flask back end and React front end to bring you an easy way to view and analyze Pandas data structure. It integrates seamless with IPython notebook and Python IPython terminal. Currently, these tools support such Pandas objects as DataFrame, series, multi-index, date time index, and regular word index. So if you have not installed your Dtale in your working directory or your system, you can just go to ppy.org website. You copy this, you say pip.install Dtale. Okay, now because I've installed it, I don't want to install it again. All I have to do is to import this data set. I say import Dtale. Okay, import Dtale. Since we have imported Dtale, all I have to do is to come here, run the code. Let me zoom it so that I can be seeing my screen. Okay, once I've zoomed it, I think you can see it better now. Now I have imported Dtale. Next, we are going to use that data set we used before. df equals to cupcake. Is that not what we call it? Yeah, it's called cupcake. Yes, we call it cupcake. All right. So I'm going to come here. What I say df dot. Because we need a pandas, I will say import pandas as pd. All right. Since we are going to use pandas, I say pd dot read underscore csv. All right. Double quotation. All right. Inside bracket. Run this code. Now we've successfully want to load our data. If I say df dot head, I think this should be able to display the data we are using. Good. If I say df.tail, this one will give us what? The tail of the data. All right. Please feel free to watch my previous video. I talked about this tail and head, how we can use it to what? Display our data, and some other functions in library or features you can use in Jupyter Notebook while working with Jupyter Notebook using Python language. So now, next we are going to see how we can use this Dtale that we have imported into our Jupyter Notebook. What I'm going to do is just a simple line of code. All you just need to do, just say Dtale dot show. Just that's all. Pass it to our what? Give it a argument which is our df variable. All right. Run this code and wait for the display. Okay. Now, as we give it some few seconds, it's going to display an interface, a very interactive and interesting one. Okay, so we'll be using and interacting with this interface or this output, so we can use it to do data exploration and some other visualization techniques. Okay, now once it's displayed, you see how it looks like. Okay, good, it has displayed. Okay, you see how powerful this picture is. We have the types of data. We have the column that is displaying here, milk, flour, sugar. Okay, now if you look at the top up here, we have the action, we have visualize, we have highlight, we have setting. Okay, inside this Dtale, if I click this button here, it will drop down some function for me. This function will enable us, if I say open a new tab, it will open this data in a new tab. Okay, you see Dtale in what? In a new tab opening. Okay, are you getting it? So we can come here and start. If you go back again, to that same button, click here, you have convert it to SRA. We have describe. If I click describe, it will have what? Give you description about what? Detail of our data that we are working with. Okay, and inside this description we have word value. Okay, we have a value count. Okay, you see word value You see the description, describe all the data, and their what values. And we can say, okay, the one you want to display, make this one visible or make this one not visible, and just select the one you want to display. Okay, we can as well export this the code that generated this interface. Okay, now inside the same button, I can come here and say DataFrame function. Okay, this one will create a new column or alter the current column using the DataFrame, but we don't want to use that. We have a clean column, clean string data of punctuation, number, and other what erroneous data using what different function. We have merge and stack. We have summarize data, create a new grid using the either pivot table, aggregate, W, or group by, or transpose. If I click this summarize data, you see that it's going to display a new tab for us. Okay, you see we have group by, we have transpose, we have resemble. Okay, if I say okay, from the row I want to pick butter, from the column I want to pick you. I say okay, the value. I say okay, the value should give. Okay, the value should give us let's say sugar. Okay, and let's say the aggregate should be let's get the mean. Okay, give us the mean. This okay of this. Now after this, I can say okay, execute. If I execute this, let's wait and see the output. You see, it's going to give us the output of this data in this format. All right, in this format. Okay, that on that. All right, so we are going to go back to what, how, where the one we have opened before. Now we are going to use this to start working. Now what I'm going to do here is this. I'm going to come to visualization or visualize. What do we want to visualize? I'm saying okay, give us charts. This will open a new tab for us. We'll begin to exploit different type of chart. Okay, now as we can see, it start with what, line chart, we have bar chart, we have scatter chart, we have pie chart, we have word count, we have heat map. Now if we want to make use of a line chart, I'm going to come here, pick the S variable. Let's pick flower as a variable. Okay, then the Y variable, let's pick mink. Okay, then what is the aggregate? Let's say the aggregate should be, give us the sum of this display. You see the display of this visualization is now giving us the sum of mink by flower. Flower is y axis, why the mink is on the what, y axis. You see, are you getting it? Now we have a linear, it's a log, we have default as single. On this one you can also say drill down, you can check on it. You can also work on this one, but I don't want to on animation because this functionality is not working properly in this in the current version. Okay, so I'm going to come again. I say okay, go to bar chart. If you want to plug a bar chart, look at it. It gives us a bar chart in this format. If you want to go to scatter chart, okay, or scatter plot, it's going to give us scatter plot in this format. Look at it. You see the way the value is moving and it's moving. And again, we have a pie chart. The pie chart is also going to give us a pie chart in this format. We talk about word count. Okay, it's going to give us word count in this format. Heat map. Okay, depending on the graph or the chart you are looking at. Okay, then we talk about 3D scatter plot. We have talked about many surface plots, all these one map charts, any of them, just talk about it, just select the attribute you want to plot, select them and click it. It also has that functionality. Okay, because if I say I want to pick of egg, okay, I want to pick a flower, and so okay, the aggregate should be give me the mean. Okay, and that's okay, the line, let's say take milk as the line, sorry, take egg, let's say take egg, or let's say butter or sugar. Okay, this functionality is not working on the current version anyway, but whatsoever plot chart you want to plot, it help you to what, plot it here. If I go to hit what is it called, histogram, you see histogram is picking it for us. Okay, we have it here. You see the way histogram is putting, or is density. You can choose the density here. Okay, you can come here and say okay, get with flower, sorry, we are not getting with flower. So group it by what? You can say group it by Valena. Alright, see, it's going to group it like this for us. You see that blue is trace, and this one is trace 0, trace 1. Alright, you see how powerful Dtale can be used to do your data what? Visualization. Alright, now if we say okay, back to data 2, it will open what? Another tab for you. Now let's wait. This is the current data we we changed that time, remember. Alright, so all this one will give us many map here. We can export this data. We can as well load the new data into this our working directory. We can reload the data. Okay, there are a lot of functionality inside Dtale. Okay, so please, I will urge you to read more about Dtale. Export, import, use any data set of your choice. Do your data analysis. Okay, you can click on the that through this chart we've been able to make use of all these various chart features: word count, head map, scatter plot, and so on and so forth. Okay, so it is a very interesting library that is built on Python, built inside Python library. It's a very fine and fantastic library. I love it so much. It make an easier work. It easier analysis. It is the stress that is maybe building your plot or visualizing your data from a matplot library from scratch with all this functionality here. At just pick and drop, easy click. Once click, you are there. Okay, you see how we'll be able to plot graph here, plot bar chart without any stress. So please, I will urge you to read more about Dtale. In my previous video, we talked about other libraries like SweetVis. We talked to this is Dtale, this is Dtale, this is Dtale. Dtale is also what? A very powerful library in Python. So please do me a favor to ask your question. If there's anything you want to ask, if you can come to highlight here, you can highlight your data as well. Okay, with the highlight functionality, you can do your setting too. There are a lot of things you can set here. Set the width, set the maximum, anything you want to set here. Okay, you can set it. All right, so this is how far we can go on the Dtale library. So I will going to stop here for now. Go to my comment section. If you have any question, comment on the comment section. I remind your friend Joshua, feel free to like this video, feel free to share this video. Don't forget to comment. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.